Over the years, we've gotten used to driving some very impressive Kias. They have a list of cars that are all very good, and with so many successes, it's got me wondering, how long can they keep it up for? Here's another one of their cars they hope will spread the gospel according to Kia, the Sorento SUV. It's a name that's been around for a while, and a car that I distinctly remember having a lot of fun in while tackling a muddy mountainside a few years back. Completely reworked, this car has been refreshed outside, inside and under the bonnet. Usually I'm all for progress, but sometimes it doesn't quite work out. Straight away you can see that Kia have applied the corporate look to this car, and while I understand why companies do it, I don't always agree with it, because to me you can't unilaterally apply the same styling cues to vastly different cars, and this one is a case in point. The Kia look doesn't really suit this bigger member of the family, and it's lost a bit of character compared to the old one. Let me clarify that a bit. When I say the corporate look doesn't really suit this bigger car, I mean that it may be pretty and have slick lighting designs and look like a Kia, but those rear lights are fairly generic compared to the previous version's 3.5 acres of LED brake lights. It was one of the old car's standout features, and it's not something you'd confuse with any other car. Now, it's all Kia and somewhat generic. The Kia formula has been applied to the interior, and that means it's well laid out, well put together and well spec'd. You get everything from illuminated door strips to a touchscreen display to a third row of seats. In a class of car where cabins are generally pretty good, this one is one of the best. There is a simple elegance to the way the cabin is put together. Everything just seems to be in the right place. It's all easy to operate and it is comfortable. The standard spec is impressive, another thing Kia has become famous for, and it looks great with its mix of black and silver finishes and red illumination. There's plenty of space for 5, and you can even jam in 2 more people at the back of this all-wheel drive model thanks to the third row of seats, although it's not recommended for long distances. Powering the Sorento is a 2.2-litre turbo diesel with 146 kilowatts and 436 newton meters. Now, to put that into some kind of context, the 2.2-litre turbo diesel in the Honda CR-V puts out 110 kilowatts and 350 newton meters. Kia are a little shy about publishing their fuel consumption figures, but our mainly around-town driving has seen a return of 11 litres per 100. They're similarly shy about their CO2 count. All they'll say is that it's been improved. Power is to all 4 wheels through a 6-speed auto box. The Sorento is available as a 2-wheel drive, but if you're considering one of these cars because you actually want to go off-road, you get the kind of all-wheel drive that makes it safer on-road and a bit more capable off it, rather than the kind that comes with an extra gear set and jungle-crushing ability. It works in the same way as most similar systems do, front-wheel drive by default, but up to a 50% torque split between the axles when required, with a lock mode available as well. It's a tough call as to what's better in this car, the interior or this engine. It's not just comparatively strong, it is very strong, with power always available when you need it. In fact, it's the kind of power that could quite easily get you into trouble. Trouble with the law, that is, not trouble in the rough stuff, because despite its size, the all-wheel drive system and its electronics keep the Sorento in check, making it easy to handle in the dirt. New suspension subframes have also improved the ride comfort on rougher surfaces. But with most of the world's Sorentos destined to spend their lives on tar, Kia have concentrated on keeping things as comfortable for the driver as possible. Kia are famous for adding value to their cars by cramming them full of the kinds of technologies you'd expect to find at a much higher price. Things like keyless entry and heated and ventilated seats, both of which are in here. But it doesn't always work as well as it should. The speedometer for the Sorento is a TFT screen, like you get in a Range Rover. But even with the illumination at its highest, it's not as clear and not as good as an old-fashioned analog. It may seem like a petty thing to pick on, but it has genuine drawbacks. I often find myself having to concentrate on the display to check the speed, rather than just a casual glance down and then back onto the road, where your eyes should be. The Speedo has a magnification setting, but even when it's set to its bigger size, the problem persists. The Kia Sorento is a good technical package. It's got high spec, good comfort, an impressive diesel engine, and all-wheel drive ability. The upgrades have definitely endowed it with a bit more talent, but it's also pushed it closer to the 500,000 Rand mark, which raises an interesting question. Would you rather have a fully spec'd all-wheel drive Kia Sorento or an entry-level all-wheel drive Audi Q5? The turbo diesel motor in the Sorento is impressively strong, and that good power linked to all-wheel drive makes it an easy car to enjoy, even on rougher surfaces. For us, the previous generation had more individual styling, but the Sorento remains a good all-round package. The digital speedo isn't as clear as it should be though.